Good morning. Do it happier. This is me. You see a nice country. You are all invited. This is me. Randeep said about me, so I will not go over. My name is Ishai, which means there is God. Well, it's up to you to decide if this is true or not. I also work with the Galilee International Management Institute. We make a lot of training programs for managers from all over the world, in Israel and abroad. I want to start a little bit with some information about Israel cybersecurity industry. This is Israel, actually a very small country with less than 9 million people. Small country that makes a lot of noise. Israelis are very noisy, a bit arrogant, very direct, but very dynamic as well. The Israeli high-tech industry is going up and up and up in the last years. The number of high-tech firms is growing all the time, and the number of startups is growing all the time. We like to call ourselves the startup nation. Many international companies, the largest technological companies in the world, have their research and development centers in Israel, and this is also going up. With respect to cybersecurity, there are more than 350 companies. There are more than 50 new cyber startups every year. You saw we are less than 1% of the population in the world, much less than 1%, but 15% of the global investment in cybersecurity is in Israel, and almost 10% of the global cybersecurity sales are from Israel. In the number of companies, we are second in the world, only after the United States. Again, remember the number of the population. This is incredible. We have very special training facilities for cybersecurity people. I think they are the most advanced in the world. So cybersecurity people are coming, they are trained. Some of them play the bad guys. By the way, the bad guys in cybersecurity are called black hat. We have black hat and we have white hat. So the bad ones and the good ones. So I want to divide my session with you into two parts. The first part will be a lecture, 1.5 hours. Then we'll go to coffee break. And after the coffee break, we will play a game together. And we'll see how good managers you are. Okay, so it will be a game, a simulation of a cyber attack, and we'll see if you know what to do. Okay? So let's start. First thing, global cyber trends and threats, a general background.
Some hacker is hitting our financial markets.
4 major banks, and that's just what we know about?
If we want clues to the hacker's identity, we need a man named Hathaway.
What do we know about this guy?
He's a convicted hacker serving 15 years at MIT. Genius coder.
I want you to commute my sentence for identification and the apprehension of the guy you're after. Those are the terms. Is he political? Terrorist attack, any declaration?
The guy we're working will drop the big hammer and not think twice about it.
He's on the move again.
Chicago, now China.
This is only the beginning.
He's still writing.
4-4. Real hit is still to come.
You get discovered, you're dead meat.
You have to run.
This isn't about money. This isn't about politics. I can target anyone, anything, anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere, it can happen. You heard a lot about the digital society, the digital economy. Well, cybersecurity is the dark side of this digital economy and digital society. It goes hand in hand with the involvement of digital society, and probably it will stay with us for the next future. Statistics about cybersecurity is not always true. We don't have enough numbers about cyber attacks in the world because organizations don't like to tell about cyber attacks when they are attacked. But in general, we can see that the number of cyber attacks is growing. But the number of cyber attacks is not the important issue. The important issue is the sophistication of the cyber attack. They become more sophisticated and they are aimed at new technologies and new areas all the time. So, similar to that, we have a lot of new digital projects, new startups in the digital industry. We have all the time also startups in the cyber attacks. This is why we cannot just learn what happened in the past and to be sure that it will not happen to us anymore, but all the time we have to fight new ways of attacks. Some industries have more problems. The energy sector, the banking sector, the communication sector are those sectors that cyber attackers like more. The reasons are different. The banking sector is attractive because there is money there. And people like money. The energy and the communications are attractive for cyber attackers or for those cyber attackers that like to interfere in the provision of public services. Also, transportation is attractive, and I believe it will become more and more attractive the more unmanned vehicles we will see and the more Internet of Things solution we will see in this sector. The number of viruses and either malware is also growing all the time, and we have many variations. So again, if we succeed once, doesn't mean that we'll succeed in the next year. I've been in several countries and I heard people said, oh, we had already attacks on our website and we succeeded very easily to defend ourselves against it. And I'm telling them, the next attack will not be the same as the previous one. In Israel we say, don't fight the previous war. The next war will be always different. There are several types of cyber attack players. We have the criminals. You know the criminals, those who like to rob the banks. This is not a new issue. We had criminals from the beginning of humanity. But of course now they use other means. Unfortunately, we also have nation states that now fight with other means, not with tanks, not with airplanes, but with cyber attacks. And you hear about some of these nation state attacks in the news, but this is only a very small portion of what it is in reality. You have the hacktivists. Hacktivists are social activists, people that have social, environmental agenda. They don't like the government. They don't like what the government is doing. So they protest by means of cyber attacks. And we also have the insiders. People who work within the organizations, and for some reasons, either they are not happy with their work, or they were fired. They assist in internal cyber attacks. I'll show you later. This is a main issue. This is a main issue because unlike the other players, insiders are part of your organization, and you cannot suspect all the time in your employees. You need to believe in them. You need to give them the opportunity to work, the possibility to work with the computers of the organizations. And this is how they get access. There are different motivations for cyber attacks: money, power, control, just the feeling of control. We can turn off the lights of the city, which has happened already in Ukraine. Publicity. Some of us like to see our names in the newspaper. Revenge. Just disrupt something. Spy. There is a lot of spying in the cyber zone. And some people, some of them are young children, they do it just for the fun. As you can see, it can happen to the best of us. CIA, Pentagon, White House, all of them have been attacked or successfully attacked. Governmental agencies are especially attractive for cyber attackers, not because there is money there. Those of you who work in the governmental agencies know that you don't get paid that much, so there is not a lot of money there. But it's something symbolic to attack the governmental institute. So governmental agencies are especially attractive for cyber attackers, but also commercial firms, companies. Again, as you can see, the top commercial companies in the world have been attacked, successfully attacked. You can see the numbers of information pieces that have been stolen from the systems. It's incredible. We are talking about millions. About million. 40 million, 76 million pieces of information about customers. And actually you ask yourself, what are they going to do with all this information? We don't know, in many cases, what are they going to do with all this. Some of them will be used in order to steal money, but not all of them. Some of them will be offered in the black market. The cyber black market is called the dark net. If you heard this notion, they sell it to other criminals, to other cyber attackers. And some of this information are just kept, sometimes for years, and then the cyber attackers use it or use them in order to do something with these accounts. You know who is? What's his name? Huh? No?
We know him, we don't know the name.
Well, it doesn't have a name. He's anonymous. Anonymous is one of the most famous groups of cyber attackers in the world. Actually, nobody knows who exactly belongs to this group, but they operate internationally. Just a few examples. Greece, the Central Bank of Greece, Indonesia, South Korea have been attacked by this group. Again, you can see that they are attacking symbols of government, central banks. In central banks, there is no money. Central bank is a regulator.
The fans are the best part of the store. They're the reason the shows are incredible. And I know those fans out there are just all in. We're all bored. We're all so tired of everything we wait for. Trains that just aren't coming. We show off our different scarlet letters. Trust me, mine's better. We're so young. We're on the road to prove it. We play dumb. We know exactly what we're doing. We cry tears of mascara in the bathroom. Your life is just a classroom.
Who is she and why I show her here? Beside her cheese. Very. Huh? Who is she? Huh?
Taylor Swift.
Who? Taylor Swift. Okay, say it loud. I'm used to Israeli students. They are shouting. Okay, Taylor Swift. And why she's here with us today? If you know the answer, you get a dinner with her.
She's famous.
She is famous. Okay, but so are you. I mean,
I must say that.
why? Well, for two reasons. First, her account with her pictures, personal pictures was hacked. And the bad guys took all her pictures and they published them in the internet. And they sent her an email saying that if you don't pay us, we will publish more and more pictures, especially those that you don't want people to see. But she was brave enough, and she said a very brute answer with 4 letters. for letters U. So, but she said, okay, I'm not going to pay. This is very brave because other celebs pay. But the second reason I show her is this. Bangladesh Central Bank, SWIFT, the global bank transfer system. It's not after her name, but it's also SWIFT. Bangladesh Central Bank was hacked, and I think the number is even more than this. $80 million have been stolen by entering the global bank system. This made a lot of noise in the banking system because it wasn't only a problem of the Bangladesh Central Bank, it was now a problem of the global bank transfer system. So the CEO of the Bangladesh Bank resigned. And by the way, this is a way if you don't like your CEO or general manager do a successful cyber attack, and then he has to resign. There are many types of cyber attacks. I'm not going to enter to all of them. There are many combinations of cyber attacks, and there are new combinations of cyber attacks. I just want to show you two examples just to you feel that they are very sophisticated attacks. I'm not going to talk in technological terms. You see, only from these pictures, you see that it is a complex issue. This is a sort of cyber attack which is called watering hole. It says that if the attackers want to attack one organization, let's say a central bank. By the way, all the slides in these presentations reflect real events. Nothing here is theoretical. So, if the attackers want to attack an organization, in that case, one example was the Central Bank of Poland. But they know that the Central Bank of Poland has quite good cybersecurity measures. So what are they doing? They are going to other organizations that work with the Central Bank of Poland. Vendors, suppliers, and they start spying which systems are the weakest here. And when they found out which is the weakest, which organization has the weakest systems, they enter here, and from here they go here. This is exactly what happened in the Central Bank of Poland. They entered here, and by the way, from here they enter the systems or the banking system. So they enter to other banks, other Polish banks. So you see, sometimes it's a very complicated route, and you never know where it can come from.
Okay. ครับเดี๋ยวเราสรุปให้แบบนะครับอันนี้อันดับแรกก่อนนะครับว่าจริงๆอันนี้ก็เริ่มอันนี้ผมเริ่มต้นก่อนนะครับว่าเรื่องของ security เนี่ยนะครับที่วันนี้เราผู้เชี่ยวชาญจากอิสราเอลมาเนี่ยนะครับเพราะอิสราเอลเนี่ยเขามีmindsetที่เป็นไงแตกต่างนะครับพูดแล้วนะครับว่าเห็นไหมว่าในการจะลบกับสงครามใช่ไหมครับผมเลยนะไม่จะเตรียมลบกับของเก่าเลยต้องเตรียมลบกับของใหม่ นะครับต้องเราพูดกันอยู่พอไซต์ที่เราพูดกันมองไปในอนาคตจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นนะครับเขาคลาสสิฟายนะครับแอทแทกเกอร์เนี่ยใช่ไหมแน่นอนคริมินอลที่เขาบอกนะครับแต่จริงๆแล้วจะมีอีกหลายกลุ่มใช่ไหมหนึ่งก็คือที่ของแอคทิวิสต์ก็คืออะไรคนที่อยากจะแฮกนะครับอาจจะคนที่ไม่พอใจในบางประเด็นของหรือคนทั่วไปเนี่ยนะครับที่ดีๆเนี่ยนะครับอาจจะไม่พอใจ environment ไปแฮกลงอะไรนะลงเหมืองอะไรเงี้ยนะครับเหมืองโรงไฟฟ้าอาจหินอะไรก็ว่าไปนะครับหรือว่าที่ประเทศที่ตอนนี้มีปัญหาเยอะหน่อยคือเซฟสปอนเซอร์นั่นคือประเทศที่อะไรแฮกเรื่องบางอย่างนะครับเป็นเกาหลีเหนืออะไรนะครับนะที่การที่จะนะครับแล้วก็อีกตัวหนึ่งก็คืออะไรที่น่ากลัวคืออะไรอินไซเดอร์คือคนในเนี่ยคนข้างๆเราเนี่ยนะครับแล้วเมื่อกี้เขาก็ยกตัวอย่างมาใช่ไหมว่า CEO ต้องอะไรลาออกเลยในหลายเคสเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าไม่ชอบนายก็เป็นไงให้ข้อมูลแฮกเกอร์มาครับประเด็นที่เขาบอกว่าไอ้ไซเบอร์เทอริตี้เนี่ยมันเป็นไงปัญหามันเป็นไงมันเพิ่มขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะครับเพิ่มขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะครับแน่นอนระดับแรกก็คือเอาเงินนะครับก็โชว์มาแต่ในการเขาก็โชว์มาว่าแต่ที่มันโผล่มาตอนหลังเนี่ยที่มันเยอะขึ้นก็มีอะไรด้าน energy ใช่ไหมครับพลังงานด้าน transportation ใช่ไหมครับด้าน communication พวกนี้ทำอะไรทำเพื่ออะไรครับทำเพื่อสร้างความสับสนใช่ไหมครับเพื่อสร้างความปั่นป่วนในสังคมนะครับต่างๆเหล่านั้นนะครับแล้วก็อย่างคลาสสิฟายเขาก็ยังแบ่งกลุ่มอีกว่าอะไรไซเบอร์แอทแทกมีสองด้านคือเอาตังค์ใช่ไหมกับอีกตัวนึงก็คืออะไรเล่นคนที่มีชื่อเสียงนะครับเป็นซิมโบลิกที่เขาอธิบายมาแล้วอดีตอะไร CIA หน้า CIA โดนแฮกนะครับคนนี้โดนแฮกนะครับบางทีบางแฮกก็ไปเอาตังค์อย่างที่บอกเจ้าหน้าที่ขอตังค์แต่ไม่ให้แต่บางคนให้ก็ว่ากันมานะครับมันมีหลายทางเดียวนะครับมันมีความซับซ้อนเยอะนะครับแต่ว่าที่แน่ๆที่มันฟันธงไปอย่างหนึ่งคือเป็นไงมันเริ่มขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะครับแล้วก็คอมเพล็กซ์ก็ยกตัวอย่างให้ฟังว่ามีใครมีเรื่อง anonymous ใช่ไหมกลุ่มแฮกเกอร์ที่มันเป็นใครนะครับแต่เขาแอทแทกเซ็นเตอร์แบงก์ต่างๆนะครับเพื่ออาจจะเป็นซิมโบลิกอะไรสักอย่างนะครับว่าเขาสามารถทำได้นะครับแต่ว่าตอนนี้ก็เข้ามาถึงวิธีการนะครับวิธีการของเขานะครับเขาบอกว่าการแฮกเนี่ยมันไม่ใช่ว่าแฮกตรงๆเห็นไหมเราหมายถึงเขาจะบอกเราว่าการป้องกันไม่ใช่ง่ายนะเห็นไหมปรากฏว่าเขาไม่ได้แฮกตัวแบงค์ของโปแลนด์เลยเขาไปแวะอะไรซัพพลายเออร์หรือใครก็ตามที่เชื่อมต่อกับแบงค์ของโปแลนด์นะครับแล้วคนนั้นที่เป็นไงอ่อนสุดที่มี security น้อยสุดเขาจับตัวทางเข้าไปแล้วก็ผลักเข้าไปซึ่งความหมายเขาอะไรจะพูดว่ามันดูยากไงนะครับมันไม่ใช่ป้องกันง่ายๆมันไม่ใช่ป้องกันแค่ตัวเรานะคนที่ติดต่อกับเราก็ต้องอะไรก็ต้องแข็งแรงด้วยนะครับนั่นคือความยากนะครับสุดท้ายเลยผมอยากจะจบตรงที่ว่าเฉพาะเซสชันนี้นะอย่างเงี้ยอย่างที่เราเชิญเข้ามาเนี่ยเพราะเรื่องเนี่ยหมายเสร็จเขาค่อนข้างดีนะครับอาจารย์พ่อมาฟังบอกว่าเคยดูหนัง4 วอลไหม2 ปีแบบที่เล่นแล้วก็จะมีคน10 คนและคนที่10เป็นคนตัดสินใจนะครับวิธีการนะว่าโลกจะเป็นยังไงนะครับโอเคนะ
Another example to show you that sometimes it can be easy to attack. This is another type of attack. This kind of attack cyber attackers use when they don't know the password. You know, every one of us uses password, and if they don't know password, they send millions of passwords to the computer of the organization, so maybe one of them will succeed. This is called brute force attack, and you can buy, this is an application to prepare these millions of passwords. You can buy this application in the black market, in the darknet. And then when you buy it, it's and it goes into the organization that you want to attack. But technology is only part of the game. And one of the main issues that bothers people who are working in cybersecurity are these two. Maybe you can translate these two terms. So, you know social engineering?
Like behavioral science.
In cyber. Social engineering is using human weaknesses in order to make them assist in cyber attacks. Okay? And insider threats are people who work inside the organization.
Just for the question is, you know, those Nigeria email.
Yeah, one second. Well, we'll come to this in a second. Yeah, exactly. So what I want to say is that the human factor is very important in these cyber wars, because the human factor is each one of us. And cyber attackers in the most complex attacks use something of this in order to succeed to penetrate or to make the first penetration to the organization. There are names for that: phishing, smishing, and phishing. You know, the fish. Phishing is using our weaknesses by email. Smishing is by text, SMS. And phishing is by voice, by telephone calls. They call you, they tell you a story. I can tell you many stories how they cheated people and made them do something that will help them enter the systems. So remember the fish, because you are the fish. We, all of us. It looks like that. Again, this is a real email. This is in Russian. This is the translation. So what the more sophisticated attackers know to do is to send specific emails, not just a general emails to many people, contribute to, but specific mails with specific names, with specific position. So it is very hard for the people in the organization to know that this is not a true email. For example, Belgian bank loses 70 million euros. Look at the numbers. And I show you examples from the most advanced countries. When they cheat a CEO or general manager, they don't call it phishing, we call it whaling. You know, whale is a big one. Okay? It's like that. They send an email. When you get it, you are sure that the CEO or the general manager sent it to you. You see, it's not a general mail, it's a specific mail. It looks like a real mail within the organization. And most of us, if we get an email from the CEO or from the general manager, of course we will do it without asking any questions. Yeah, because we don't dare ask questions our managers. The last sort of cyber attack that I want to refer to are the ransomware attacks. Those attacks that after the attack or during the attack, they request money. And if you don't pay money, they are disabling your ability to use your data, your information. usually they ask the money in Bitcoin. You heard the Bitcoin? I mean, everybody heard about it. Did you see the Bitcoin? I guess nobody saw it.
There is 5 copies for all representation.
Fantastic.
Okay, in the exercise we do something about it.
Maybe we'll put it.
โอเคนะ
Okay.
ครับนี่เขาก็อธิบายนะครับเรื่องชนิดนะครับของการแฮกนะครับที่เขาให้ออกมานะครับก็ไฮไลท์ว่าเป็นเว็บแฮกเกอร์นะครับก็แต่ตัวสองก็คุยกันแล้วคือไซเดอร์ก็คือคนไหนนะครับแต่ว่าตัวแรกที่เขาไฮไลท์คือโซเชียลโซเชียลเอนจิเนียริ่งความจริงไม่มีอะไรจริงถ้าแปลง่ายๆคือการทำสแกนไม่ใช่สแกนคือหลอกลวงเคยดูหนังไหมหนังสมัยหลายเรื่องเนี่ยจะมีพวกมาหลอกลวงโอ้เป็นแก๊กเลยหลอกจนโอนเงินไม่ได้อะไรต่างๆเหล่านั้นนะครับคอนเซ็ปต์เดียวกันกับอะไรกับไซเบอร์หมายคือว่าไงก็มีวิธีหลอกลวงนะครับทำยังไงก็ได้ทำให้แบบดูเนียนมากแต่แล้วก็อะไรโอนเงินไปนะครับแต่ถ้าเขาเลยเล่าให้ฟังอย่างมีเคสของแบงก์ของธนาคารในเบลเยียมใช่ไหมครับทำเหมือนอีเมลเหมือนซีโอเลยนะครับแปลว่าสื่อมาเรียบร้อยแล้วว่าซีโอพี่ก็สั่งแบบนี้ให้ชาร์จตรงนี้ช่วยโอนเงินให้ทีโดยด่วนนะประมาณนั้นนะครับ CFO ก็เป็นไงโอนให้เสร็จใช่ไหมแล้วเขาก็แซวว่าใช่ไหมเขามีคำว่าอะไรฟิชชิ่งใช่ไหมที่มาทางอีเมลนะแต่ว่าเคสนี้ไม่ใช่ฟิชธรรมดามันเป็นไงมันเป็นความบานนะเขาโอนเงินที่โอนเป็นเยอะใช่ไหมครับแล้วก็จะมีอะไรนะฟิชชิ่งก็คือส่ง SMS ใช่ไหมครับนะแล้วก็อย่างตัวหนึ่งฟิชชิ่งก็คือแค่ voice อันนี้ voice เราก็เป็นพวกแก๊ง call center ใช่ไหมก็เคสของเราคือแก๊ง call center ต่างๆโทรศัพท์ไปบอกให้โอนเงินมาด่วนใช่ไหมครับอะไรต่างๆเหล่านั้นนะ SMS ยังไม่ค่อยเห็นในเมืองไทยเนาะนะครับ I discuss about recent issue in Thailand like call center หรือแก๊ง call center แล้วก็คือพวกนี้นะครับแต่ว่าทั้งหลายทั้งปวงเนี่ยมันคืออะไรเลยมันคือ social engineering เห็นไหมการที่ทริคให้เราเป็นไงเข้าความร่วมมือนะครับเข้าความร่วมมือช่วยเหลืออะไรคือผู้แรกคือทำให้ผู้ร้ายเองนะครับซึ่งอันนี้ที่เขาบอกว่ามันเป็นอิชชูที่ยากมากนะครับในวงการcyber security โอเคแล้วเราได้ตัวอย่างหนึ่งนี่ก็คือแรนซัมแวร์นะครับว่าบางครั้งอาจจะมีจริงไม่จริงก็ไม่รู้ปูไว้ก่อนนะครับโอเค
Okay, so now we come to this trend which I call the globalization of cyber attacks. We have the economic globalization, and now we have also globalization of cyber attack. This attack this year, which was a ransomware attack, hit many countries at the same times, by the way, including Thailand. So, a group of people, nobody knows exactly where they sit, who they are. By the way, in most cases, we don't succeed to capture the whole groups of attackers, even after many years. So you see, they attacked at the same time many countries in the world. So this is the globalization of cyber attack. And this is why one of the reasons why cooperation between countries is so important in this issue. In Southeast Asia, the Bangladesh, but every country had its nice attack. And if we talk about Thailand, maybe you can translate some of these headlines.
นี่เขายกตัวอย่างกับประเทศไทยมาอันแรกอะไรเนี่ยนะครับบอกว่าของเราเป็นท็อป25แล้วเนี่ยโอ้โหเป็นออเนอร์เลยเนี่ยขนาดดูอิงพิเศษของเราจะแค่26แล้วนายกดีใจจะตายขาดแล้วนะอันนี้ของเราที่ไซเบอร์ของเราที่ท็อป25เลยนะครับแล้วใครเป็นแหล่งข่าวเนี่ยนะเทคโนโลยีเพิ่มของ Microsoft นะครับแล้วก็มีอะไรอีกอย่างแรก Thailand Need More Cyber Security นะครับตอนนี้ของเอ็นได้เองนะครับ นะครับเรามีตัวแทนที่เนี่ยนะครับเราเพิ่มขึ้นบอกว่าอะไรเพิ่มขึ้น 10% ต่อปีนะครับการีน่าเกมของลูกเล่นอยู่เนี่ยอันนี้นะครับชัดดาวไวไซเบอร์แฮมโอ้ยที่ผมชอบนะ that's the right one is a good one so my son stop playing that one so
You play?
my son play so
No, your son together with you. I know you. I've seen it.
I said shut down so that's good oh he played nothing that be part of it okay latest ransomware virus target Thailand โอเคเรามี ransomware นะครับแล้วก็ถามว่าเป็นดาวก่อนไหมว่าOkay.
Okay, you see, we got a problem. Houston, Thailand. Okay, now some strategies and policies. I'll go in brief on that. What we've seen, I mean, your training program is mainly on that. We're growing cyber risk, and because of that, we have more regulation with regard to cybersecurity. By the way, you will get this presentation later. So, in many countries, they are preparing these days, a national cybersecurity strategy. This is New Zealand, Australia, United Kingdom, Poland, Singapore. These are just few examples of a cybersecurity strategy on the national level. In addition, there are new laws and new regulations on data protection. These are, you see, these are not few, these are many examples in the world. One of the most important internationally was mentioned yesterday, the General Data Protection Regulation of the EU, European Union. Its main principles are increased territorial scope. It means that this regulation applies not only to local companies, but also to foreign companies that operate in your country, to local companies that work abroad, and transfer of data between countries. Consent was mentioned yesterday. You need the customers, the clients need to give the consent for the use of data, but at the same time, they also have the right to be forgotten. If you don't want some agency or some company to have your data, you have the right to tell them, forget me. It doesn't hold for example, for tax authority. You have to pay tax. I mean, you cannot tell them, forget me, okay? Or the police, if you are doing something wrong, you cannot tell them, forget me, okay? So pay your taxes and don't make any criminal acts, okay? In each organization, there must be a data protection officer on high level. Breach notification. This requires companies to report immediately when they are attacked to the national or sectoral regulator or CERT. In a second, I will talk about the CERT. So companies cannot hold this information for themselves. They have to notify about it, because until now, a lot of organizations didn't say to anyone else that they were attacked. They didn't want customers to know about it. And the last important thing are penalties. In case of a breach, regulators can fine a lot of money from the organization. So this is not a voluntary framework. This is something that if you don't act according to the regulation, something happens, you're going to pay a lot of money. One of my main messages when it comes to cybersecurity is that technology is not everything. It's only part of it. And when we talk about the national level, there are other dimensions that are important as well. We have the organization, how we organize our institutions that are responsible about cybersecurity on the national level, on the sectoral level. Who is responsible on what? We have law enforcement agencies, police, secret agencies. We have the Ministry of Justice. We have the Prime Minister Office. All of them are relevant. And of course, we have the Army. All of them are relevant to the organization of cybersecurity. We have regulation that we talked about just now. Capacity building, mainly people, skilled people to deal with it. And this is a major challenge in every country. And cooperation within the country and cooperation with other countries. So to see it, again, you will get it printed. Each of these dimensions includes several items. All of them are important for the national cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you move to slide? One more.
You could say 6.
Okay. Can you go back one more?
7.
I cannot remember that. One more. Yeah. Okay. นะครับก็ไม่มีอะไรมากเขาก็บอกว่าเนี่ยที่เราคุยกันมาในวันข่าวนะครับส่วนใหญ่ก็คือเราพูดถึงที่ต้อยมีเคสที่เขาบอกว่า digital revolution นะครับแต่ว่าเรียกอะไรนะเหรียญอีกด้านหนึ่งของมันนะครับก็คือ cyber security นะครับซึ่งสร้างความเสียหายใหญ่หลวงนะครับที่เกิดขึ้นนะครับก็เลยเป็นที่มาของอะไรข้อบังคับนะครับกฎระเบียบที่จะตามมานะครับที่จะตามมานะครับ Can you move to the UN EU regulation นี่ก็เป็นตัวอย่างนะครับตัวอย่างของข้อบังคับนะครับนี่ก็เป็นของ EU นะครับคือ General Data Protection Regulation ตรงนี้นะครับก็จะมีหนึ่งก็คืออันดับแรกคือเริ่มครอบคลุมเยอะมากเลยนะครับคือต่อไปในอะไรที่ไม่ใช่แค่เซิร์ฟเวอร์นะครับต้องมีการขออนุญาตนะครับจากคนใช้เราใช้นะครับต้องมีการขอนะครับมีเรื่องของอะไรนะ right to be protected นะครับหรือว่าห้ามแผนบางอย่างนะครับก็ต้องมีการเขาให้สิทธิประชาชนไม่ใช่บริษัทจะเอาไปได้นะครับลูกของลูกค้าแล้วก็ต้องมีกฎระเบียบต่างๆนะครับก็มีเรื่อง breach notification อันนี้สำคัญมากเลยแต่เมืองไทยไม่เคยเห็นเลยนะครับว่าคืออะไรถ้าบริษัทถูกแฮกหรือมีการถูกรู้ว่าอะไรรู้ว่าถูกขโมยข้อมูลไปแล้วต้องอะไรต้องแจ้งสาธารณะนะครับจะองค์กรอะไรก็ว่ากันไปจะ regulator หรือว่านะครับในเรื่องของ EU มีการกำหนดนะเป็นค่าปรับไปด้วยนะครับว่าต่ำน้อย 4% อย่างหรืออย่างใดอย่างหนึ่งที่อะไรเยอะกว่าการเป็น20 ล้านเหรียญนะครับทำไมต้องมีค่าปรับนะอยากรู้จักก็คือบังคับให้อะไรองค์กรจะต้องมีตรงนี้อยู่แล้วต้องมีเดี๋ยวถ้าไม่มีก็แบบขอโทษครับจบนะลืมซะอะไรประมาณนั้นนะครับครั้งหน้าเอาใหม่ผู้ว่าต้องรู้มันสวยนะครับโอเค next slide please นะครับแล้วก็นี่เขาก็พูดถึงนะครับ framework ในระดับประเทศนะครับโอเคมันก็และ regulation ก็เป็นแค่เครื่องมือหนึ่งถูกไหมครับ regulation ก็แค่เครื่องมือหนึ่ง นะครับก็มาพูดถึงเรื่องของอะไรโครงสร้างองค์กรนะครับว่าเป็นยังไงจะมีคนทำงานเรื่องนี้ไหมนะครับพูดถึง capacity building ก็คือทักษะของคนนะครับและซึ่งไม่อยากจะบอกใช่ไหมทักษะของใครครับลึกๆก็คือ user ทุกคนใช่ไหมเพราะเราง่ายมากที่จะไปไงถูก social engineering โดนเข้าไปได้นะครับเทคโนโลยีใช่ไหมแต่คราวนี้ก็ย้ำอีกทีว่าเทคโนโลยีเป็นไงเป็นเพียงอะไร1/6ใช่ไหม1/6เท่านั้นเองนะครับและอันหนึ่งที่น่าสนใจมันกลับกันตรงกันข้ามกับอะไรที่มีบอกว่าคืออะไร cooperation นะครับจำเป็นจะต้องมีอะไรการร่วมมือนะครับจะเป็นร่วมมือกันระหว่างภายในประเทศนอกประเทศตรงนี้จะเป็นเรื่องสำคัญเลยข้อมูลเป็นไงคืออะไรกูไม่อยากแบ่งใครหรือออกใช่ไหมแต่ว่ามันจะเป็นหน้าเป็นตามันเป็นเรื่องอะไรอันนี้เป็นเรื่องที่ปิ๊กเราเนี่ยเป็นเรื่องยากพอสมควรนะครับแต่ว่าจำเป็นจะต้องมีเพราะอะไรเพราะว่าอย่างที่บอกไงมันเป็นโซเชียลเน็ตเวิร์กบางอย่างใช่ไหมที่เขาบอกว่าคุณถูกจองไปแล้วคุณอับอายคุณยอมยินดีที่จะจ่ายค่าถ่ายหรือออกใช่ไหมแต่ว่าจริงๆเป็นไงคนอื่นโดนด้วยคนอื่นก็จะไม่รู้ใช่ไหมมันก็ไม่ถ้าไม่ได้แชร์ออกมาเราก็จะไม่ได้อะไรป้องกันในเรื่องต่างๆเพราะฉะนั้นเรื่องนี้มันกลายเป็นเรื่องสำคัญพอสมควรว่าจะทำยังไงให้เกิด collaboration เพราะว่าส่วนนึงมันเป็นไงมันเป็นเรื่องส่วนตัว I put it a little bit more on collaboration that says it's difficult because while security is private but collaboration is public something like you share something between private something that you are ashamed of something like that
these are serious challenges but we are going in this direction I mean you need the cooperation
okay that's it thank you
just few numbers when it comes to skill of course the technical skills are very important but not less important is the ability of the technical people to understand the business. Cyber attackers are aiming at the business. The systems are only the means for that. And if the technical people don't understand the business, they cannot protect the organization very well. So we put a lot of emphasis not only on technical skills, but to understand the business. When I'm saying the business, if the technical person works in a bank, he needs to know better what are the business transactions, what does it mean to the customer, not only the servers and the firewalls and the network. Another thing which is very important is not only detection, the regular operation to look if something is wrong, but it's to know how to act once you have a cyber attack. We call it incident response or incident response skills. And this is very difficult or complicated issue, which I want to talk about it in my last part. But before that, this is the national, one of the main new authorities on the national level to deal with cybersecurity is the National Cybersecurity Authority. In many countries, they establish now such authorities. I'm consulting to the Israel National Cybersecurity Authority. We don't have time, I'll show you later. This is we call it not we. It's called CERT, Computer Emergency Readiness Team, which now in many countries is being established. This is the technical detection team, and they give also support during an attack. So organizations, especially large organizations that have a problem with respect to cyber, they contact this national CERT, and they talk with it and they try to solve the problems together. Other function of this National Cybersecurity Authority is to assist organizations in preparing themselves to cyber attacks. So this is a methodology that is published in the internet, and every organization can download it, and it assists organizations to prepare themselves. Now coming to the organizations level. Till now I talked about the national level. Each organization needs these days a good cybersecurity framework. I'm going fast because it includes many aspects. It starts here: governance, leadership, the board. It doesn't start with the technological people. And then we have awareness, education. Then we need tools and procedure to identify threats. And then mitigation policies. It means procedures and tools to deal with cyber attacks. And we have also audits to see that we are ready. I'm not going to talk about everything. One of the procedures or methodologies to see that we are preparing ourselves well enough to cyber attack is risk management. Risk management we have in other areas as well, but it is now developing with reference to cyber security. It starts with identifying threats and then assess risk, etc. Are you familiar with risk management you are doing in your organization?
Yes.
Actually, the methodology is the same. The content is different. So you made a professional survey in the organization on your systems, on your work processes, on the awareness, and you put them in high, low, and what are the recommended control. So this is a survey that you do once in 2 years, but it has to be updated all the time. So this is an important step in the preparedness. Another thing that you have to do is to prepare an incident response plan. Incident response plan, sometimes it's a long book, but books are only books, so also you need the tools and the practice, how to do it. So in Israel, every large organization is doing the risk management on cybersecurity and prepares a detailed incident response plan. What happens? How do we have to act once a cyber attack occurs? Important thing is cyber education within the organization. The top managers, the middle management, and also the users. We saw that one problem or issue is the social engineering and insiders. So we also provide educational or awareness trainings for non-technological people.
Okay, that's me. Go on. Okay. เมื่อกี้เขาก็สรุปนะครับว่าไม่ใช่เขาพูดถึงนะครับการป้องกันนะครับนี้ในประเด็นขององค์กรนะครับในประเด็นขององค์กรก็บอกแล้วว่าเริ่มจากผู้บริหารให้ความสนใจคือกำหนด policy ขึ้นมานะครับว่าทำยังไงนะครับแล้วก็จะไล่มาก็เป็น awareness นะครับ awareness เป็นเรื่องปกติเลยนะของทุกอันเลยอย่างเนี้ยวันเนี้ยที่เราถ้ามาเรียนกันตั้งแต่60ชั่วโมงเนี่ยอันหนึ่งก็เป็นการสร้าง awareness ให้พวกเราเข้าใจว่าอะไร digital economy คืออะไรที่ออกใช่ไหมเป็นการโยนเม็ดพันธุ์ไว้ระหวังว่าวันหนึ่งคุณจะเป็นร่ำรวยขึ้นมาจาก digital economy ก็ว่ากันไปนะครับแต่ว่ามันก็คือ awareness แหละมันอันนี้ก็เหมือนกันนะครับวันนี้เขาพูดถึงว่า awareness ใช่ไหมพอawareness เสร็จที่เหลือก็จะเป็นเรื่องเครื่องมือละเครื่องมือการจัดการนะครับเพราะเขายกตัวอย่างเช่น risk management ธรรมดานะครับซึ่งก็นำไปสู่การประเมินนะครับการติดตามก็ว่ากันไปนี่คือ organization level นะครับแล้วก็พูดถึงนอกจากนั้นก็จะเป็นเรื่องของ education ใช่ไหมการศึกษานะครับพอมี awareness แล้วก็ใส่การศึกษาเข้าไปนะครับเพื่อให้รู้ว่าเป็นยังไงนะครับแล้วพอทำ risk management ผลลัพธ์ตัวหนึ่งก็ได้มาก็คือคู่มือเขาเรียกว่าอะไรการคู่มือตอบสนองนะคู่มือปฏิบัติเมื่อเกิดปัญหาขึ้นต้องทำยังไงนะครับfor me I only format my hard drive my incident response is format the hard drive format my hard drive that's the only way I know okay
Okay, so I want to finish this session to talk about a little bit about incident response, crisis management. Again, it will be very brief, just to give you some idea what we need for that. What is a crisis? What is a crisis? Look, each one of you had or has a crisis. What is it? What is it, a crisis? Something that you cannot control. Okay, more? Your boyfriend or girlfriend left you. Well, how do you feel?
Desperation.
Huh? Huh?
Desperation.
Lost. Okay, no, without control, lost. What else? Confused. Yeah. Stressed. You see? So this is what we have when we get into a crisis. I'm teaching in MBA programs crisis management in general. But what is important about crisis management is to deal with these feelings. Not just to know that we feel like that, we don't have control, we are lost. So the word crisis in Greek means that decision. So crisis management is mainly about decisions, decision making. How do we make the right decisions during a time of crisis, when we are under stress, when we are lost, when we are sad, when we don't have enough information, when our systems don't work, which decisions and who needs to take these decisions in times of crisis. So this is what incident or crisis management is all about, the decision-making process. The first thing, we need to know what are our aims while we respond to a crisis or to incident. And as you can see, we have several aspects, not only systems, not only data. We need to take care that our supply chain works, because many times the problem is or might be not in our organization but in our supplier. We need to take care of our customer service. And doesn't matter, this holds also for governmental agency, because the citizens are their customers. And then to our cash flow, to our business. And finally, to our reputation. And this is a strategic issue, because reputation or bad reputation can harm you in the long term. So we need to take care of various areas during a crisis management or an incident response. And as you can see, the technological issue is only one dimension. Again, this is my main message to everybody, to workers and managers. Cybersecurity is not just an IT problem. It is a business problem. The American National Institute for Standards published what he called the cybersecurity framework, and it has this very nice graph, which says briefly, cybersecurity starts here with the executive level, it goes through the business processes, and then to the technology. They call it from the boardroom to the server room. From the boardroom to the server room. So crisis management or cyber incident response, all these levels need to be involved. But not only vertically, also horizontally. A cyber response involves the management and, of course, the information security people, but also the legal advisors, public relations, the business units, risk management, other IT experts that are responsible about the affected systems, and human resource in case these are insiders. So you see, we have a lot of internal stakeholders involved in such an incident. But we also have external stakeholders, customers and media, our vendors, internet providers, law enforcement agencies. So when we talk about incident response or crisis management, we are talking about a web of stakeholders that need to be involved and need to be coordinated. So how do we coordinate all these stakeholders? And I'm going to do it very briefly. We establish an organizational setup for crisis management within the organization. By the way, this is a generic setup for all types of crisis, organizational crisis. We have the boards, the CEO, then we have two levels of response. The managerial decision, you remember the Greek word, the managerial decision-making level, and the professional team. Of course, they work in coordination. But here, the technological and professional actions and decisions are taken, and here the strategic and managerial and business decisions are taken. Technological people should not take business decisions. They are not supposed to say, what are we going to do with the bank account? What are we going to do with our customers? what sort of PR we are going to use in the media. This is not the professional team. This is the managerial response team. You have it in more detail in the presentation that you'll get. But the last thing is very important also to remember: the other parties that are involved, the stakeholders, the media. If you are a public company, you need to see what is happening with your shares, and relevant employees and suppliers. So this is the organizational setup for a case of cyber attack. And this is something that must be planned to decide who is here, to give them the right tools and the right procedures, how to work, and to exercise them, to practice them. I'm going very briefly. I just want you to know that there are such methodologies. I don't want you to know them in detail. There are best practices, how to handle a response. So we see we have several stages. In each stage we need to take other decisions or other actions. You have it. I will not. I just want you to know that there are best practices, and you need to integrate them into your organization. There are also, of course, technological solutions. There is no one system against cyber attacks. There are many systems. In some banks in Israel, they have more than 50 systems to protect themselves against cyber attacks. So you have several sorts of solutions. You heard a lot about artificial intelligence. It is entering also in the evolution of the technological solution, because the threats are, there are numerous threats, new threats all the time, and you cannot depend on past experience. You need all the time to deal with new sorts of attacks. And because we have many sorts of informations and many systems, we need integration. And this is something that in Israel we work very hard on this, how to bring all the information from all the sensors into one monitoring system. Last, and this is the last slide for this part, there is what we call a shutdown dilemma. When you are attacked and one of your systems doesn't work, or data has been manipulated or is wrong, a very tough decision is to decide whether to continue working with this system. Example, if your website, your organizational website has been attacked, and all of a sudden there are some, I don't know, some notes on the website, you have been attacked or something like that, or some web services are not working, you need to decide whether to continue providing these web services to the public. This is a very tough decision which must be taken by the management of the organization, because if you shut down all your websites, you have a problem. You get after that very angry customers, you get lawsuits, the regulator is some of you are regulators, huh? Yes? Yeah. So when there is a problem in one of your regulated companies, you like to jump on it and punish it. So this is a very serious problem. Or if your data has been affected and you have some wrong data about customers, you also need to decide, I will continue working with it and try to fix it on the fly, or I'm going to shut down the systems. And this is a very important decision to make, and we'll come back to this in the next part of our lecture in the exercise. So, coffee break.
Okay, I have to do my job first.
You have to, okay. Otherwise you don't get a coffee.
Yeah. นะครับอันนี้ก็คือเข้าไปสู่แอคชั่นของเขาใช่ไหมครับก็คือว่าเมื่อเกิดเหตุการณ์นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเมื่อกี้ผมว่าเขาเป็นคนแรกที่บรรยายแบบนี้ผมก็คิดว่าcrisis management คืออะไรใช่ไหมอย่างที่เราบอกเขาดูจากพฤติกรรมของเราใช่ไหมเราจะตระหนกตกใจทำอะไรไม่ถูกใช่ไหมครับแล้วเขาเลยเอาคำกรีกเข้ามาว่า crisis คือการตัดสินใจแปลว่าอะไรเป็นการตัดสินใจที่ถูกเรียงไว้ก่อนล่วงหน้านะครับจนกระทั่งทำคู่มือได้ว่าง่ายๆเพราะฉะนั้นเป็นไงเมื่อเกิดปัญหาขึ้นปุ๊บเป็นไงเปิดหนังสือเปิดคู่มือหรือถูกฝึกเอาไว้นะครับจริงถ้าจะไปต้องไปดูหนังอะไรวะไม่ใช่ดูหนังเรื่องความจริงเลยที่ Challenger ระเบิดเคยดูไหมเนี่ยนะครับพอ Challenger มันระเบิดไปปุ้งเขาบอกเลยประกาศบอกเลยให้เปิดคู่มือหน้านี้นึกออกไหมพอเรา13ใช่ไม่แต่ว่ามันเปลี่ยนไปเป็น rescue ไงเป็น rescue mission ใช่ไม่ผมนึกว่าไอ้ตัวหลังเนี่ย Challenger มันมีโคลอมเบียระเบิดแล้ว Challenger ที่2ที่เป็นรูรั่วโอเคไม่เป็นไรแต่ว่า crisis management หมายถึงว่าคือมันมีคู่มือมาเรียบร้อยแล้วถูกไหมครับแล้วเราก็เปิดขึ้นมาได้นะครับคราวนี้เขาก็เซตเข้ามานะครับว่าตรงนี้มันจะเกิดขึ้นได้ยังไงเขาก็อ้างเฟรมเวิร์กของNIST ของอเมริกานะครับเขาบอกว่ามันต้องเริ่มจากอะไร executive ใช่ไหมครับ executive เห็นด้วยแล้วก็อะไรให้เงินให้ทองกำหนดนโยบายนะครับแล้วก็สุดท้ายก็ต้องเข้าไปสู่ operation เป็น business workflow ใช่ไหมครับแล้วก็ operation เขาบอกว่าจาก board room ไปที่ server room ก็ต้องเข้าไปตรงนั้นนะครับนั่นก็คือจะเป็นเรื่องของระบบที่จะมีนะครับแล้วเขาก็บอกว่ามันก็มี life cycle ของมันต้องทำอะไรบ้างนะครับเขาบอกว่าถ้าเราเกิดปัญหานี้จะเกิดปัญหาอะไรพยายามที่เราจะ recover ก็คือ data ที่หายไปเงินที่หายไปแต่สิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดคืออะไรชื่อเสียงไม่สำคัญที่สุดคือชื่อเสียงจะกลับเข้ามาได้ยังไงนะครับเสร็จแล้วเขาก็พูดถึงเรื่องอะไรนะความยากลำบากคือประเด็นตัดสินใจอยู่2อย่างเขาบอกสุดท้ายมันจบอยู่ตรงนี้ใช่ไหม2อย่างคืออะไรจะชัตดาวน์ระบบเลยหรือจะเป็นไงจะใช้ต่อแล้วพยายามจะอะไรประมาณว่าจะไล่มันลงมาแรงหรืออะไรบรรดาต่างๆที่มันอยู่ในระบบออกไปนะครับซึ่งมันมีความยุ่งยากลำบากมากเลยว่าจะเป็นไงจะหยุดให้มันหยุดเลือดไหลตรงนี้หรือว่าจะทำยังไงนะครับซึ่งเดี๋ยวเขาจะมาทำอะไรมาทำซิมูเลชันเกมกันนะครับเขาจะไปทำซิมูเลชันเกมกันนะครับว่าเดี๋ยวสถานการณ์อย่างนี้เราจะตัดสินใจอย่างไรนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเดี๋ยวแอคทีฟนิดหน่อยนะแค่น้อยมาเดี๋ยวสไลด์เวอร์ชันถัดไปผมแปลภาษาไทยให้ด้วย ผมแปลภาษาไทยเรียบร้อยแล้วนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นลองดูว่าเขาจะมาลองทดลองว่าสถานการณ์นี้เราจะประพฤติตัวยังไงนะครับโอเคพักเบรก15 นาทีใช่ไหมครับ15 minutes นะครับครับผมครับactually they asked for 30 minutes โอเคครับครับได้ครับครับ Okay. They asked your opinion, so I forward to you. She asked this one. She said she heard that blockchain can solve attacker, okay, can solve a problem attacker. Is this true or is it not true or something?
What does she think? What does she think?
เขาถามคุณกลับไปว่าคุณติ๊กว่าไงตอบ yes or no
I'm not sure the answer,
Don't
but
believe technicians, okay?
okay.
I'm old enough to know that in the past there were many technologies that said this is the ultimate solution. You work with ERP, SAP, some of you? If you saw you know what is SAP, ERP systems? Some of you know. Okay, if you saw the marketing of SAP, it's the ultimate system. It helps you in everything in the organization. Well, I know that the number of systems in the organization didn't go down after they introduced SAP. So don't believe to slogans that we came to paradise. Because, I don't know, I'm a Jew, but maybe the Christians also know. God threw us away from paradise. So I'm not sure that in the next future we will arrive there. Blockchain will...
คนในห้องนี้ก็พูดถึงบล็อกเชนว่ามัน secure เหลือเกินนะครับเอ็กซ์เพิร์ทของเราเขาก็บอกว่าอย่าไปเชื่อมันว่ามันจะ secure ทั้งหมดนะครับเขาก็บอกว่าจริงๆมันอาจจะช่วยนะครับยกตัวอย่างเมตาฟอร์ได้ดีมากเลยคือบอกว่าเดี๋ยววันหนึ่งเลยกลับไปสวรรค์เนี่ยอันนี้อาจจะเป็นกระไดที่จะไปสวรรค์ได้นะแต่เขาบอกว่าตอนนี้ไอ้พวกผู้ร้ายเนี่ยก็มองหาวิธีที่จะอะไรจะปราบบล็อกเชนอยู่เหมือนกันนะเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยมันก็ต้องอะไรก็ต่อสู้กันไปมันก็ถึงต้องมีเฟรมเวิร์กจัดการเขาบอกน่ารักมากเขาบอกอย่าไปเชื่อเทคนิคเชียนรู้ไหม so management concept people always have a weakness okay yeah
but maybe I can just add to what Ishai mentioned. So why is blockchain supposed to be secure? For two reasons. One is that it puts data in multiple locations, right? So that's one element of security. The second part is that it uses a standard which is called SHA-256. The expansion for that is Secure Hash Algorithm, which is 256-bit algorithm. So far, with existing computing systems, it is virtually impossible to crack an SHA-256 encrypted data. It's virtually impossible. But I think Ishai made a good point that technology is not static, right? So technology is growing and it is moving day by day. So people believe that if quantum computing becomes a reality, actually it will be very easy to break the SHA-256 algorithm, right? So one element of security which is highly secure today might not be as secure tomorrow with new developments like quantum computing. So that's one issue. The second is that when the hash is created, it is created by data miners. So there are mining companies actually which have huge computing systems and they create a hash to encrypt that data. The hash is created by miners. Now in case more than 50% of the miners collude, which theoretically is actually a possibility, in that case the system gets compromised. Even the Bitcoin system can get compromised if more than 50% of the miners actually collude. So I think that while blockchain is perhaps a more secure technology than other technologies today, right? So certainly it has a higher level of security, but one needs to be mindful of the technology developments that are taking place and also the implementation of blockchain. Because while Bitcoin is global, you can implement a blockchain within an organization as well, which has a completely different approach. So one needs to be a little careful and look at these dimensions while going ahead with a solution.
Okay, thank you very much. แล้วก็เพิ่มอีกเรื่องไอ้เรื่อง blockchain เนี่ยยังใช้ทุกแอปพลิเคชันไม่ได้นะคือยังคิดกันไม่ออกมันใช้ได้ประมาณโอเค
You'll be smiling.
Okay, can I say something? Hello?
ทุกท่านคะบนโต๊ะของทุกท่านเนี่ยจะมีแบบสอบถามอยู่2 ชุดนะคะก็ต้องขอรบกวนทุกท่านทำแบบสอบถามให้เสร็จก่อนที่เราจะลงไปพักทานข้าวกันนะคะถ้าทำเสร็จแล้วก็ทิ้งไว้ที่โต๊ะได้เลยแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเจ้าหน้าที่เนี่ยจะไปตามเก็บเองนะคะขอรบกวนด้วยนะคะขอบคุณค่ะ
I don't know. You're right. I don't know what you say, but okay. Before, look at me, students. Look at me and be happy, okay? That's all. Before we go to our exercise, I want to tell you some things about exercises in general. I'm doing a lot of exercises. I believe that exercises on crisis management in general and cybersecurity in particular are very important to practice people in almost real world events. So we are doing a lot of exercises to see that we know what we are doing and what needs to be improved. There are several types of exercises. There are operational based, that people really operate on their systems, with their systems, and there are discussion based exercises in which you don't use your systems, you just use your head, which is even harder than to use the systems. This is Singapore. This is an emergency exercise in Singapore's zoo. So they exercise the incident that an animal escapes, how to react to this incident. Well, I never understood which animal it is. But if you can, I don't know if it's a bear, what it is. What animal it is? You can see that? Maybe you are a what? Yeah, it can be.
Mascot. It's actually a mascot.
Okay. So you see, this is a type of emergency exercise. This is the animal escapes, and they are running after it, and they capture it, and now. So this is type of emergency exercise. And of course, in these types of exercises, usually you win. Yeah, a lot of organizations are doing this kind of exercises, and usually you win because they are doing exactly what they were said to do. I don't like this kind of exercises. I mean, not that I don't like, I don't think they are enough. They are good to practice very narrow professional skills, but they are not exercising the decision-making processes. In cybersecurity, we have operational exercises in the organizations themselves or in specific facilities in which the professional people get, we call it scenarios, problems, and they have to solve it on the system. But now come the exercises in which we use decision-making processes on the managerial and business level. So most common exercises, we call them tabletop exercises, which mean that we sit near a table. We don't use operational systems in these exercises. We use our heads. We can sit in one room, or we can sit like you see? This is your picture. I knew how you are going to sit, and this is you. Okay, we have several groups. In this kind of exercise, by the way, the groups don't need to sit in the same room. They can sit in other rooms. We are going to do just something basic, but in more professional exercises, each group has a role. Some play this role, some other plays another role, and it's more complex than these small exercises, a small exercise that we are going to do. I'm also doing very large-scale exercises with sometimes hundreds of people, 400, 500 from different organizations with top management, senior management, and dozens of other participants. Information flow. These are very nice exercises. They take between 3 to 6 hours, sometimes more than one day, and they are very nice. And it's very nice to see senior management sweating because they are very brave on their regular work. They tell you what to do, but when we see them in a crisis situation, they are sweating and they are afraid not to make mistakes. So again, if you want to see your general managers in a less hero position, make exercises like that, and you'll see how that they are human beings, not. Okay, these are scenarios. So now we will start with our exercise. For this exercise, you got 3 pages in Thai on your table. This is your organization. Okay, you are managers in this organization. Anyone works in a bank here? No. Okay. It's good. But you see the problems are not in the exercises, can be relevant to many organizations. So this is you. You have it. You are managers of this bank. Okay? Now, exercise instructions. We will do it in several rounds. Okay? Several rounds. I will give you a problem. You have to discuss it. Okay? And then to come up with a plan. What we are doing. What I want you, the plans, very, very short. In brief, in points. Okay? We are going to report this to this. We are going to do this. And we are 3, 4 bullets, very, very brief. By the way, I'm trying to train managers to think like that too. Not long stories. Long stories, after that, in the pub. Okay? We go to the pub after that? Okay. No? Why not?
We are Buddhists here, so we don't drink.
You don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't drink. I saw, especially the ladies here, they like to drink. I saw it. But you are going to come too. Okay? Okay. So, really, very, very brief. The last line. I'm always saying managers need to work with the last line, not long stories. Bullet point. It's very important. Well, this gentleman there. He translated it, not me. So I hope he translated it okay. I'm sure he translated it okay. So I want you to take notice when you have a problem. Who are the relevant stakeholders inside the organization and outside? To whom you have to contact or to talk to or to act in order to solve his or their problem. Another thing, you will get usually a picture or something, a message. But I want you to think also not only about the specific message, but also on the general implications. What other implications can be? One very important thing in crisis management I don't want to give now a lecture about crisis management, is all the time, although we are in a very troubling situation, all the time to think 1 or 2 steps ahead. What can happen? What are we going to do next step? Okay? So, we will start. The first one, I'll just see if you understand our game. So, you get this kind of email. Read it. An email. In your organization, you come in the morning.
อันนี้ก็คือมีข้อความจากธนาคารนะครับส่งมาให้ทางเราในฐานะเจ้าของบัญชีนะครับ
Remember, your assurance bank, this is not your bank, you get an email like that. Now, anyone wants to tell me what he is doing or she is doing? Brief. What are you doing? You get an email like that.
ถ้ามีข้อความนี้ทำไงดีครับ
Now, be a little bit Israelis, okay? More dynamic, shout a little bit, not so shy and polite. I mean, come on.
อย่าลืมเขาเป็นคอมมานโดจากอิสราเอลอาร์มี่นะครับด้วยเหตุนี้เขาเน้นเสียงดังฉับไวนะครับ
Scream. Sorry. Call to the bank. To which bank? To this one? And what? And check about. Okay. Call to the Bank of America, and check about this email. More answers. You see, very short, brief. What else?
Fishing.
Are you going to fish? We are going to eat the fish later. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, this is one answer. Don't be afraid. I mean, nobody will eat you. Call the police. You got an email, you call the police. The police will arrest you, I'm afraid. Okay. More. Okay. Inform the information technology team about this email. Okay. Why do you suspect it? Why do you call the police? Why you call the bank? Why you call the... Why? Why do you think it's phishing?
We are not sure that whether it is true or not.
You are not sure?
Yes.
This is the right answer. It's not that you know that it's phishing. You suspect. And why you suspect?
Just check the URL address.
This is the Bank of America.
But this has been happened so many times in society, so we have to make sure.
But you're working in a bank and you get an email from a Bank of America. You know, from America. This email arrived from America.
But anyone can be America.
Everybody. No, you need a green card for that. Not everybody.
Check the email address.
Okay. So,
don't check email one.
This is something unusual about it. Okay. It's not a regular. Usually don't. What you don't do. You said you call the police, you call the bank. By the way, you want to call the bank. To whom are you going to call? One second. Who are you going to call? What? Here?
Check the email address.
You are going to click it? No. Very good. Okay, so this is the don't do. Okay, you don't click anything. Okay. Okay, I see now that you become a little bit Israelis. This table needs more a little bit to wake up. Okay, so now we will start, and I'll show you one scenario after another. Each group, secretly, that the other groups don't hear, this what to do. But very briefly, after we finish, it's 10 minutes, not more, maybe 5 minutes. Okay, you have very short time to decide. Each representative from a group, say what this group decided to do. Are you ready? Are we ready? Okay, we'll see. Okay, so we go to our next slide. He also is right. Yeah. Okay, so we start. You see, it has been hacked. Angie!
No, there's something on top.
Oh, don't move. Okay. You get this email. What are you going to do? Manage.
คือเขาบอกว่าให้คิดเหมือนกับเป็นผู้บริหารของธนาคารนะครับแต่ว่าเราเห็นอย่างนี้ปุ๊บเรามีเวลาจำกัดจะทำอะไรต่อไปเองก็อยากจะทราบเกี่ยวกับเรานะครับ
Okay, what are you going to do? Quickly? I mean, talk to one another.
คุยกันหน่อยนะครับ
Now you don't have to look at me. Now talk. Quarrel. Shout. What are you doing?
นี่นะครับเอานี่เป็นซีนาริโอดีแล้วนะครับแต่ว่าขอให้คิดดูว่าในฐานะเราเป็นผู้บริหารเราจะทำอะไรต่อขอเป็นสั้นๆนะครับ1 2 3เป็นพอยต์
Every scenario is a bit indifferent. Okay, what are you doing? Look, you get an email, in 1 second you are doing something. You don't have all the time. I mean, if you start reading all your emails like that, you will not read them. You look at your emails, 1 second you read an email. What are you doing? Here, please. What are you doing?
Check what happened in the HR.
Oh, sorry?
We check what happened in the HR department while this happened.
You're asking who?
So, you say that we are the...
You received this email. What are you doing?
So we are not the managing level of this organization now.
Yes, yes. You are in the organization and you receive this email.
So
What?
this is in our organization.
Yes, everything. This is in your organization. You receive.
We have to check the HR department.
You receive. What are you going to do?
Check back to the HR.
Why you need to check?
What happened? What is the why is happening?
Because they think as a manager, so they want to call back the HR
Oh,
and see
but you
what
got
happened.
an email from the HR. Any other response? What are you doing? Don't look so afraid. I mean, it's... Sorry?
call to HR department.
Okay, you also say we call the HR department.
So this group check the HR. This group call the HR department.
Okay. What are you doing? Come on. Also
call HR department.
Okay, you.
Don't
I want to see somebody brave to say something else.
don't open the attachment and check that the from email from the address of the email.
Okay, the address is the HR department.
No, sometimes we can see the detail that HR department what is the domain of the HR
You see,
department.
the domain is perfect. No problem with the domain. Okay, you said, but you said something else, not to open the file. Anybody else? What are you saying? Why?
To check whether this is from the real email within the organization or from outside.
แสดงว่ากลุ่มนี้จะโทร IT department นะครับไม่ได้โทรหา HR department แต่ call แล้วก็โทรหา IT department ดูว่าอีเมลนี้มันจริงหรือเปล่ามัน authentic หรือเปล่า
This is a true address. Okay.
อันนี้คือโดเมนของจริงนะครับเป็นโดเมนของจริงนะครับ
Yes. But you will not get point. Okay? You want to go to the pub? Okay.
I just want to make sure that I received an email yesterday.
Okay. You see, he's elder than you. He has experience. Okay. But one day you will be elder too. Okay.
คือเขาบอกว่าเขาจะตรวจสอบว่าเมื่อวานนี้ได้รับอีเมลหรือเปล่าจากข้อความถ้าอ่านข้อความบอกว่าเมื่อวานส่งมาใช่ไหมฮะเขาก็จะเช็คดูว่าเมื่อวานเนี้ยได้รับอีเมลหรือเปล่าเชิญฮะกลุ่มนี้เชิญเลยครับ
คือจะบอกว่าผมจะเรียกคนมาประชุมทันทีครับทุกคนที่เกี่ยวข้องครับ
So as a manager he would like to call the meeting with all the key
meeting with all okay
stakeholder with this particular
I want to see their faces when they are calling everybody for this email. Okay, look. What? Now you started. Okay.
I want to check my salary record, which is different from the old or not. Check the salary record of my. Previous salary.
Consistent.
Okay. Okay. Now we have a lot of. Okay.
Just add more. I will take this picture on this email and then lie to the HR.
Okay. She said, "I'm going to print screen this and send it to the HR to see." Okay. Now we are talking about cybersecurity. The last thing I want you to understand from this lecture is that now you are going to suspect in every email that you get. Okay, otherwise you stop working. Okay, so I don't want you to stop working. What I want to say, be careful and look if something is something irregular, something abnormal. Okay, don't now, if your boyfriend now sends you, oh dear, let's meet in the pub at 8 o'clock in the evening. I mean, don't call the police in the meetings. Okay, answer him. Okay, I'll be glad to. So, okay, don't suspect every email. We cannot live like that or any mess. But if there is something strange. So here, actually, there is nothing strange at first sight. By the way, all the slides that I'll show you in this exercise are real. Are from real events. So the first sight, there is nothing wrong here. The only thing that make you think that something is wrong is whether this is relevant. I mean, you really got previous message about it, or this is why you get it at all. Only then you start thinking and being careful. Okay? But if this is your job, you are working in the accounting, and you get regular messages like that from the HR, okay, don't stop on each email because you have to work. Okay, so now that we are warmed up, we will move to. We have many problems. Okay.
Okay, let me summarize a little bit. คือเขาบอกว่าอย่าไปตกใจเห็นทุกอย่างอีเมลแล้วก็หยุดทำงานนะเพียงแต่ว่าเขาบอกว่าคำว่า security คือเราต้องเริ่มที่จะหัดสังเกตว่ามันมีอะไรผิดปกติบ้างเท่านั้นเองนะก็คือมันเป็นการที่ทำให้เรามี awareness นะฮะว่าเฮ้ยมันมีอะไรที่มันผิดสังเกตหรือว่ามันมีอะไรแปลกๆที่เราไม่เคยเห็นมาก่อนหรือเปล่าถ้าอย่างนั้นเนี่ยเราเริ่ม suspect แต่ว่าไม่ได้หมายความว่าจะต้องไม่ไว้ใจทุกๆอีเมลที่ส่งมานะครับอันนี้คือข้อความที่เขาอยากจะสื่อให้เพราะว่าคำว่า cyber security เนี่ยก็คืออะไรที่ผิดสังเกตเนี่ยเราจะต้องสงสัยไว้ก่อนอันนี้เป็นเรื่องปกติอยู่แล้วนะครับ
Okay, we move forward.
So they're not thinking as a man, right? They're not thinking as a man. I mean, they're not thinking as a manager, but thinking as a user.
Not the users, but the managers. Okay.
อันนี้อาจจะมองในมุมมองของเป็นผู้ที่ใช้ Twitter ก็ได้นะครับเห็นอย่างเงี้ยเราจะทำยังไง
Okay. Someone of you sees this or heard about this in the news. What are you doing now? 5 minutes. What are you doing with it? Think a little bit.
คิดดูนะครับเห็นอย่างนี้จะทำยังไงนะครับ
You have to respond quickly, but think before that. Okay, even if you have to act quickly, think what you are doing.
คืออันนี้นี่เราทำงานอยู่ที่ไทยแบงก์อันนี้นะครับเราจะทำยังไงเห็นอย่างเงี้ยไม่ได้คุยกันก่อนคุยกันก่อนครับคุยกันก่อน
Think a little bit.
ใช่ครับคือเราทำงานที่แบงก์นะครับแล้วเราเห็นอย่างเงี้ย
Talk. No. I want them to see it. Yeah. Yes. The Assurance Bank is a Thai bank. Yeah.
โอเคนะครับเรานึกต้องใส่หมวกเราทำงานให้ธนาคารนี้นะครับ
Okay. What are you doing here? What are you doing?
ก็คือจะหนึ่งก็คือจะเช็ค Account Twitter นี้ก่อนนะคะว่ามันคือเหมือนเขาเป็น Verify Account หรือเปล่าคือ Account มีความน่าเชื่อถือไหมแล้วก็สองก็คือว่าคำผูกเขาที่บอกว่ายึดเงินที่ยึดไปอ่ะมันมีการยึดจริงหรือเปล่าแล้วถ้าว่ายึดจริงไม่จริงเราก็รีพอร์ตอะค่ะถ้ามันไม่เป็นความจริงก็คือรีพอร์ต
She want to verify the account. She would like to the group would like to verify the account and also the message and then report.
What do you mean to verify? What verify what?
Account Twitter account.
How do you verify Twitter? What do you mean? You look at the Twitter and you see this. What do you mean? What do you want to verify? How do you know who he is? You look at the Twitter. This is what you get. Okay, I understand. Okay, any more? Hello,
อย่าลืมเขา
listen.
ทำงานเป็นคอมมานโด
Excuse me, because this is from the Cyber Army Command, so we concerned about the security of the country. So we report this.
Listen, you report to the whom?
To the Security Office of Thailand, Thai Security
Thailand.
Office Thailand, to check about.
Let's start the security of the bank, okay? Not everybody is calling to the security of Thailand.
Because we have the just like a
Okay.
ad hoc group that to check from the security of the country that to check about any irregular mail that link to the
You
the security.
listen what she's saying? Okay, any more? Yes.
It depends my position in the bank, but normally, but normally is if the sentence from the Twitters
Depends what?
depend on the source of.
Every answer that starts with "it depends,"
Yep.
it means that you don't know what to do. So doesn't depend on anything. This is what you have.
Okay, I ignore this Twitter because I don't mind
You
about.
don't mind about it.
About
you don't
it.
do anything. Why you don't do anything? Because they are very afraid. Why?
It came from Twitter.
So there is nothing. Okay.
โอเค
So
กลุ่มนี้ก็
here
คือ
she reports.
Yeah.
Here they wanted to validate the Twitter account. I don't know how you can validate a Twitter account. And what are you doing there? They have, and how do you validate? This is their account. If President Trump sends something by Twitter, how do you verify that it is really him? I mean, if it is stupid, it is him. But okay. In times like that, we really want more information, but sometimes we cannot have it. Okay, reporting to the security authority, and you say, I don't mind about it. Any other?
Firstly, we have to check the information first. Are there any case like this happened before?
If it happened before.
If it happened before, we ignore like that group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
because
see, there are two alternatives here. One say we have to report and we have to act, and the other opposition say, okay, don't worry, be happy. Okay, now you get this one, another one.
อันนี้คืออันเดียวกันนะครับ แต่เราได้ข้อความอันที่สองแล้วนะครับ แต่ว่าเราได้รับข้อความเป็นในรูปแบบของ Twitter เท่านั้นเองนะเราจะทำยังไงดีในฐานะเรารับผิดชอบธนาคารอันนี้อยู่นะครับ
Yes, please. Okay, please.
Inform the IT department and who are in charge to do further action.
To take action. To the IT department. What do you want them to do? Check. Okay. Report to the IT department. What else? She points at you. You don't pass the microphone from one another. Okay, what are you doing this group? She said that. I say that. Okay.
We think that.
Well, that's good. We think that. Okay. Come on.
We think that we should report to the police.
Report to the police.
Actually, she said she recommend that there is a police that taking care of the bank
Okay.
system.
Okay, report to the police. What else? You gentlemen, you said that you're not worried.
You ignore.
You start to be worried? No. Okay. Tough guy. Okay. You also said, lady, you also said that you didn't do anything in the previous one. Now you are doing something?
I think firstly we have to look at the risk management in our organization as
Okay.
well to check is if there are case something like that how to manage it's maybe
meeting.
yeah
Okay, meeting is always a good solution.
not the
Let me-
meeting
Deciding in the meeting.
not the meeting
Oh, probably in most meetings we don't decide anything. We just talk. Okay, decisions. You remember the Greek word for crisis? Decisions. I want you decisions. Not we make meetings. Oh,
อันนี้เราจะตอบว่าอะไรอะ
คืออย่าลืมนะฮะว่าเขาพูดถึง crisis ละ crisis คือการตัดสินใจนะครับต้องตัดสินใจเดี๋ยวนั้นเลยแล้วเราอยู่หน้างานเราจะทำยังไงใช่ไหมครับอยู่หน้างานจะทำยังไง
Okay, this deserves, of course, a more active reaction. Now, also in the previous one, you talked about reporting. Reporting in times of incident is very important. It's very important. However, you need to know to whom to report. When we prepare a plan, incident response plan, we prepare to whom to report this and these occasions. I mean, it's not that everybody calls the police, or not everybody calls to the Interpol, or everybody calls to the Prime Minister or the King. I mean, there are, or there need to be procedures to whom to report. Okay?
คือเขาประเด็นสำคัญคือว่าถ้าจะมีรายงานเนี่ยมันต้องมี procedure ว่าสถานการณ์เงี้ยมันต้องรายงานใครนะฮะ report ไปที่ใครนะครับเพื่อที่จะทำให้องค์กรเราสามารถที่จะ take action ได้ทันทีนะครับคือ crisis เนี่ยมันต้องเร็วที่สุดมันจะปล่อยนานไม่ได้นะครับ
Now, I would suggest to an organization, a bank, that if there is something like that, to take a precaution and to declare a cyber state of emergency. Okay? Even if nothing yet happened, we call it a state of emergency and we start to be more cautious. Okay, let's move forward. Now, a state of emergency had been declared, and now, all of a sudden, this happens in your computer.
คืออันนี้ก็ต่อไปถ้าสมมุติว่าเรารายงานแล้วผลว่าเราต้องบอกว่าเป็นภาวะฉุกเฉินละอันนี้ก็เรียกว่าเป็น crisis mode ละถูกไหมฮะเราต้องมีความระมัดระวังมากขึ้นผลว่าหน้าจอมันโผล่นี้ข้อความนี้ขึ้นมาเราจะทำยังไงต่อปรึกษากันในกลุ่มนะฮะจะทำยังไงต่อเดี๋ยวนั้นเลยนะครับนะปรึกษากันในกลุ่มนะครับปรึกษาในกลุ่มจะทำยังไงต่อครับใช่จะทำยังไงต่อแล้วฮะ
Talk to each other. Why don't you talk? You don't like each other. What the?
So the event has some consequences.
All the time. Yeah.
All the time. So it's a sequential. Okay. มันเกิดขึ้นติดกันแล้วนะครับ
Your PC. All of a sudden, you see something like that. Yeah, within the organization, everything is in the organization.
เป็นหลายเครื่องไว้เป็นทางองค์กรนะ
Huh? One second. You. Okay. 1 second. Okay.
แจ้ง
Look, we are in a state of emergency, and now you are eating. Now. No. Well, also in state of emergency, you have to eat something. Okay, tell me when you are ready. Or somebody else? No. Okay. Okay. Now, please.
I will call IT service desk.
Quiet. But speak loud. Finished eating.
I'm full now. Okay, I will call IT service desk to investigate this problem first. I will call IT service desk.
Help desk.
Yeah.
Okay. She will call the help desk, the IT help desk. Any more suggestion? Yes, you.
This used to happen in our office. So we are the decision maker. So we just announce to every sector that which if you see this sign in your computer, what should you do? If you see any sign of any computer, what should you do? So you have to know the step by step. Then we make the procedure for everyone to know that anything happen. What should you do?
Okay, you take it further. Okay. No, I like it. I mean, she acts like a general. I mean, she moves all the forces, and it's okay. You'll be a general one day. Okay, you.
We'll take a picture.
You again a picture.
Yeah.
Here,
And then
he takes a picture.
and then send to the IT center.
Okay.
Because
Okay, so like her
before to do the next step. Because
Okay.
you make the organization in the confused.
Okay, picture and ID. Yes, gentlemen.
Take photo of this picture by and
You don't listen.
Unplug. Yes, I listen already.
Okay, she said first.
Okay,
So
but
said
I will unplug them.
Okay.
I will unplug them. Unplug. I mean.
Turn off.
Turn off.
Take off the electricity.
And totally system of the internet or everything.
Oh, no, one
So this can.
second. I thought only of the PC you take off the cable, but now you take the cable of all the systems in the organization. Okay, complete shutdown of all the systems in the organization. Okay.
โอเคคือกลุ่มนี้ก็ชัตดาวน์โหมดเลยใช่ไหมฮะที่เขาพูดใช่ไหมฮะจำได้ไหมฮะ2 อันสุดท้ายถ้ามันไปไม่ไหวจริงๆถ้าไม่ชัตดาวน์หรือจะให้ระบบรันไปเรื่อยนี่ก็กลุ่มนี้เลือกที่จะชัตดาวน์นะครับ
Okay, so you see also here we have two different alternatives. One is I would say a narrow one. It's to call the help desk with a picture, without a picture, with a smile or not. But to talk to the help desk, and another one, the generals here, they said, okay, we now say to everybody, inform everybody in the organization, and you said we shut down all the systems. Yeah, okay. Now, this is, you remember when I finished my lecture, I told you the shutdown is a real problem in such cases. And we have to be very careful, because if you now shut down the system, let me tell you what happened. I can assure you that if later it will be discovered that there was no attack, the general manager will have to look for another job. So not you maybe, but if you are his consultant, maybe you also will have to. So we have to be very careful not to run too quickly to more general, not to more general solutions, not to, okay? We have to look, but we have to do it fast. I mean, when we send to the help desk such a notice, we need also to wait and to see that they are answering us very fast. But we are in a state of emergency, and this is okay if you have a problem like that, immediately to send to the IT help desk. But look, if we are not in a state of emergency, and it's written here that your PC is a new one, you got it yesterday, would you be bothered about it? I mean, you'll be angry that your computer doesn't work. Will you suspect that this is a cyber? You got a new computer. It happens every day. You get a new computer and it doesn't work. So here again, what I want to tell you, it depends on the context of these occurrences, on the context. If we are in a state of emergency and we are expecting a cyber attack, then we have to be very cautious. Everything we notify immediately. But in an everyday, if this is happening, yes, you call to the help desk and tell them, and shout at them, why did you buy me this computer? But this doesn't mean that immediately this is a cyber issue. So again, don't think that everything that happens, every problem is a cyber problem. Okay? Use your heads.
คือเขาบอกเลยว่าเมื่อกี้เนี่ยพอมี Twitter มาเยอะเนี่ยบางครั้งพอเรากลัวฟึบเราเห็นอะไรแปลกๆฟึบคราวนี้ยิ่งกลัวเข้าไปใหญ่นะครับด้วยนี้เนี่ยประโยคนึงที่เขาถึงเติมเข้ามาก็คือว่าคอมพิวเตอร์นี้เป็นคอมพิวเตอร์อันใหม่ นะฮะคือนี่เป็นประสบการณ์คือบางครั้งเวลาเราเจอสถานการณ์ที่มันน่ากลัวแล้วมันเจออะไรที่มันประหลาดอีกคราวนี้เราจะเริ่มแพนิคแล้วนะพอเริ่มแพนิคเนี่ยบางครั้งเราจะตัดสินใจไม่เป็นเหตุเป็นผลหรือ irrational แล้วอันนี้คือสิ่งที่เขาพยายามจะเตือนเราเรื่อยๆเพราะว่านั่นคือนะฮะประโยชน์ของการมี cyber security คือมันจะเตือนสติเราให้เรานะฮะมีเหตุมีผลสังเกตดูแต่ว่าอย่างที่สุดเรามีการเตรียมความพร้อมนะครับอันนี้คือข้อความที่เขาพยายามจะสื่อให้เรานะครับ
Let's go to the third one. Now you are managers of the organization, and your help desk received several notifications like that, and he tells you this. You are now the management of the bank, and you get a notice from the IT department, from the IT help desk, that the problem is not only in one computer, but in several computers, and they suspect, the IT suspect, that there is some malware. What are you doing? Life becomes more complicated. I mean, the answer is not there. The answer is here. If you talk, I mean, you can stare at this, and no answer will come out of it.
จะตัดสินใจยังไงต่อนะครับเจอสถานการณ์นี้แล้วจะทำยังไงต่อคือ crisis คือ decision นะครับ
Waiting for IT.
Okay. So the lady says, as the management, I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting to see what the IT can do to solve the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
ตอนนี้กลุ่มนี้บอกว่ารอนะครับกลุ่มนี้คือบอกว่าให้รอนะครับ
What are you saying here?
Wait and see.
By the way, you are still do nothing.
No, I wait and see, but do the manual task, not.
You're moving to manual task. Because I mean, to work. I mean, I just want to understand the situation. Look, interesting answer. We stop working with the computers, with all the computers. But only some of the people can't work, the other can. So, okay, you're saying we don't work with computers anymore, we just... they are going to work manually. What do you mean work manually? I'm asking it because there are many people who think this is a good solution, to start to work manually when we don't have computers.
ทีนี้กลุ่มนี้เสนอว่าถ้าอย่างนั้นก็ให้คอมพิวเตอร์ที่เกิดปัญหาฟึบให้ใช้แมนนวลแทนที่จะใช้คอมพิวเตอร์นะครับ
What do you work?
Normally, when we have the second hand, if we have some problem on computer operation, if that department is have to work with the client, we have to do manually because.
What? Okay. Where are you working?
Right now, at the moment, or in the organization?
No. In your real life, I mean.
Investment manager.
Investment manager.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. Can we make some business later? Okay. So you really think if you cannot work with the computer, you are going to work manually. As I said, there are many people who think this is the right solution, and I see it in many plans that if the computers don't work, we will use manual working processes. Now, you heard a lot of lectures during this week about the digital economy, digital society. One of the meanings of these trends is that we cannot work without computers. So what kind of work you can do manually with your customers. This is what I'm telling to all the organizations now. Leave aside this dream, fantasy, that we can go back and work manually. We cannot go back and work manually. Maybe we can do very small jobs manually, but we cannot give service to the customers manually. How can you do it? You don't have systems, you don't have data. No, we are completely dependent on information system. And that is why the cybersecurity is such a threat. So please, if anyone in your organization tell we are going to go back manually, you said, please explain me, what can we do manually with our customers, with our data? Yes.
In our organization, when it's happened like this, we stop the LAN and internet, but we still work on the computer, standalone computer.
This is something else. You're very good. You want to be a hacker? No? She says something else. We don't stop working with the computers, but we cut ourselves from the external world. And this is really something that organizations that have an attack, but only certain types of attacks that come from outside, because some attacks come from the inside. And if they come from the inside, this will not help. But if they come from outside, we call them DDoS attacks. These most common attacks on the websites, if they come from outside, sometimes we cut the internet connection to the external world. Okay, so manual solution, I don't support it. I don't think it's realistic in this digital society, this digital economy. Okay? Try to live 2 hours without your smartphone. You probably will get all of you into a deep depression. And okay?
คือเขาพยายามจะบอกว่าดิจิทัลอีโคโนมีหรือ society เราผ่านมาเนี่ยเรากำลังจะบอกว่ามันเป็นเทรนด์ซึ่งแนวโน้มที่หลีกเลี่ยงไม่ได้นะชีวิตส่วนตัวชีวิตการทำงานนะฮะทุกอย่างเนี่ยมันผูกติดกับทางด้านคอมพิวเตอร์เนี่ยด้วยเหตุนี้สิ่งที่เขาพยายามจะสื่อสารให้เรามากๆคือไอ้ cyber security ซึ่งเราอาจจะให้ความสำคัญน้อยมากเนี่ยมันต้องให้ความสำคัญเพราะว่าเมื่อกี้คุณยกตัวอย่างว่านึกถึงเราไม่มีมือถือ2 ชั่วโมงอย่างเงี้ยนะฮะเราชีวิตเราจะเป็นไงคือไม่ได้อยู่บนเครื่องบินนะฮะแต่ทำงานอยู่อย่างที่บ้านเนี่ยโดยที่ต้องมีนะสิ่งที่ท้าทายก็คือเนื่องจาก cyber security เนี่ยมันไม่ได้ถูกโจมตีจากข้างนอกถูกไหมฮะอย่างผู้ก่อการร้ายก็มีผู้ก่อการร้ายที่มาจากข้างนอกประเทศและมีผู้ก่อการร้ายที่อยู่ในประเทศนะก็เหมือนกัน cyber security ก็คือจะมีการถูกโจมตีจากข้างนอกและข้างในนะฮะเราก็ต้องมีมาตรการในการดูข้างนอกแล้วเราก็ต้องมีมาตรการในการปฏิบัติถ้ามันมีการ attack จากข้างในอันนี้นี่คือสิ่งที่เขาพยายามจะสื่อให้เราเพราะว่ามันมาได้ทุกรูปแบบและอย่าลืมนะสิ่งที่เกิดขึ้นเมื่อวานพรุ่งนี้อาจจะไม่เหมือนเดิมนะครับประเทศอิสราเอลเขาต้องเตรียมความพร้อมเสมอเพราะว่าเขาต้องต่อสู้กับประเทศซึ่งลบเมื่อวานกับลบพรุ่งนี้ไม่เหมือนกันนะครับ
Okay, the problem continues.
นี่ก็คราวนี้ลูกค้านะครับ call center โทรมาแล้วบอกว่าลูกค้าเขาร้องเรียนมาแล้วว่าเข้านะครับเขาไม่ได้จากเว็บไซต์ของธนาคารเราจะทำไงดีครับสถานการณ์มันเริ่มรุนแรงขึ้นเรื่อยๆถูกไหมครับแต่ถ้าเกิดเรามีมาตรการตัดต้นลมนะฮะมันจะทำให้เราเริ่มตกใจกลัวทำอะไรไม่ถูกแล้วนะครับ
Okay, 2 minutes to think.
2 นาทีนะครับจะทำอะไร crisis เนี่ยต้องตัดใจภายใน2 นาทีครับ
Any answer here? What system you check? The
First is
website.
website. And
Give him the microphone. Listen. Yes, please.
Check the core banking system is do correctly, do nothing. If the system something wrong.
Okay,
we
you check
will-
the system.
Yeah.
But it takes time to check all the systems in the bank. Okay. I mean, you have customers. You have very angry customers.
Yes.
What are you doing with them?
Uh,
I want you to look at the stakeholders. You all the time go inside to check the systems, which is very good. But you have very angry customers. What are you going to do with them?
we communicate to customer first to apologize for the maybe system is not support during this time.
And
After that,
apologize.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, if it's okay. So he apologizes. How do you apologize to the customers?
we are now on the website.
You don't have a website. You have a problem in the website.
คือก็มีแจ้งมาว่าเว็บไซต์มีปัญหาไงฮะโดยนี้ถ้าเกิดสมมติ
Maybe
ว่า
we send the SMS message
To all your customers.
Yes.
Now.
And maybe
Okay,
Facebook
I want
or the
to
social.
With any more, I'll come back to this. Okay, because the customer's issue is very important. Any more, or we'll continue here?
คือมีการตัดสินใจอื่นไหมครับคือกลุ่มนี้บอกว่าหน้าที่จะขอโทษนะครับลูกค้าเพราะว่าเขาเช็คกับเขาไม่ได้ถูกไหมฮะส่วนจะขอโทษวิธีอะไรก็อาจจะส่ง SMS เพราะว่าตอนนี้เว็บไซต์มันใช้ไม่ได้แล้วใช่ไหมครับหรือตรง Facebook ก็ได้ถ้ามีนะครับ
Let the call center check is that the error from customer that input some wrong password or something like that, or because they don't succeed to view their account correctly. What does it mean for that?
That
Don't
we want to
succeed.
see, you know, in banks now, you enter to the website
Yeah.
and you can see your account.
But it's
When
already.
there's something wrong, you cannot see, or there are wrong numbers there.
You can, but you are.
This is what they are saying to her. Look at her. Any more?
หนีไปครับ
I'm not sure that the condition is not clear, but I think for my own, I have opinion experience before. You should apologize to the customer and then talk in detail, ask them what happened.
Okay, to inquire what is happening.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
What happened before?
How do you do it?
Yeah.
How?
เราจะติดต่อลูกค้ายังไงครับท่าน
How do you ask them?
Ask them that what do you do? What did you do before they have the wrong? You cannot go into the bank website. What would you do?
Something about customers. Okay, it's very well to talk with the IT systems and everything, but in the meantime, we have problems with our customers. And believe me, when you start having problems with customers, you start having the real problems. Okay? I always say that failure in systems, it's not a crisis. The crisis starts when the external stakeholders start to be angry with you.
คือในมุมมองเขา
Customers are very important.
คือในมุมมองเขาคือจริงความล้มเหลวของระบบเนี่ยเป็นเรื่องภายในนะครับแต่ว่าเมื่อไหร่ที่มันเริ่มขยับออกไปถึงข้างนอกเนี่ยคราวนี้เราต้องทำอะไรอย่างรวดเร็วแล้วครับ
So there are several issues around customers. First, I asked how you notify them. He said by the website something is wrong over there. So and then he said we sent SMS to all our customers. So here too we have to be careful because on the one end we want to respond to the customers that complain. On the other hand, we don't want to start a panic. Panic is the worst thing that an organization can do if such an incident starts. So we need to do something in the middle. What we can do in this situation, we instruct the ladies or the maids in the call center that if a customer calls and complaint about this, you do what you said, asking questions, what exactly were. We gather intelligence. Okay, we use the customers to understand better what is the situation. Okay, and then we also apologize and said we are doing our best. But we don't send SMS or we don't immediately publish it in all the news sites that we have a problem, because then all of our customers and all of the media will jump on us and will kill us. Okay? So these are customers. Be aware, customers are very, very important, maybe the most important stakeholders that we have. Again, also for governmental agencies.
โอเคนะครับคือที่เขาบอกว่าจริงๆเวลา customer ถ้ามีสถานการณ์อย่างนี้แล้วเนี่ยเราอย่าเพิ่งตกใจคือถ้าเราไปประกาศให้คนอื่นทุกคนรับรู้หมดคราวนี้ reputation ใช่ไหมฮะเราจะเริ่มมีปัญหาสิ่งที่เขาพยายามจะบอกก็คือตอนนี้เรายังไม่รู้อะไรเลยเราต้อง gather intelligence ถูกไหมฮะเขามาจากทหารใช่ไหมฮะ intelligence ก็คือเราต้องพยายามจะเก็บข้อความนะครับซึ่งข้อความที่ดีที่สุดก็คือต้องมาจากต้นน้ำที่มีปัญหาคือลูกค้าเองตอนนี้เราก็ต้องบอก call center ของเราแล้วว่าถ้าเจอปัญหาอย่างนี้ต้องทำยังไงนะครับในการซักถามซึ่งเขาบอกว่าคำถามที่เราถามไปเมื่อกี้ดีคือให้มันเกิดอะไรขึ้นทำไมถึงนะทำอะไรมันถึงเป็นอย่างนี้ครับเราจะเริ่มรู้แล้วว่ามันมีปัญหาอะไรเพราะตอนนี้ปัญหายังไม่รู้คือเรารู้มีปัญหาแต่เราบอกไม่ได้ว่าปัญหาหน้าตาเป็นยังไงนะฮะจำได้มา wicked problem ใช่ไหมนะ design thinking คือในโลกเราจะมี wicked problem คือรู้ว่ามันไม่ใช่มันเป็นปัญหาแต่ว่าอธิบายไม่ได้นะครับซึ่งตอนนี้เราเนื่องจากเราไม่ได้เป็นลูกค้านี่ถูกไหมฮะเราเป็นคนที่ดูแลระบบเราต้องพยายามจะให้ลูกค้าซึ่งเขาเข้าระบบเราบอกเรามากที่สุดนะครับ
So the last sort of problem in this exercise, because life is more complicated than that, we'll move forward. 1 second. Okay. You get a message like that. You get a message like that.
ทำไงต่อครับเจอข้อความอย่างนี้เข้าไป
And right after that, a message arrives to the CEO or General Manager office.
คือเราไม่รู้เลยนะฮะใครส่งข้อความมาแต่ว่า CEO ของธนาคารได้รับข้อความเนี่ยครับเห็นได้ไหมฮะสหภาพยุโรปนี่เขาปรับใช่ไหมฮะของบ้านเรายังมีกฎหมายด้วยนี้เราก็ช่างมัน
And then users in the bank start to get this message.
User mean the bank customer, right? When you say user mean the bank.
No, in the bank. Users in the bank.
Okay, it's staff in the bank. Okay.
Yeah, now it's inside the bank.
ทีนี้ก็คือคนของเรานะฮะเจอข้อความอย่างนี้แล้วเขาบอกเลยว่าสิ่งที่เราทำงานข้อความที่เราเก็บไว้ในอดีตข้อมูลจะเริ่มทยอยหายไปเรื่อยจะทำยังไงคราวนี้ประชุมไม่ได้ใช่ไหมฮะจะเรียกตำรวจก็ไม่ได้ตำรวจทำอะไรไม่เป็นอยู่แล้วเรื่องตรงนี้ถูกไหมครับเราจะทำยังไงแล้วอันนี้คือสิ่งที่เข้ามานี่คือสิ่งที่เขาเจออยู่ตลอดนะครับ
Ransom mails like that we get more and more and more. This is the fastest growing cyber attacks now these days in the last year, so you might get it in your home as well. So what are we doing? 12 hours. If you don't pay in bitcoins, your files will be encrypted. You cannot use them. Life is difficult. I didn't promise you any roses garden.
แล้วแม่นี้ไม่ได้ลูกค้านี่ยูเซอร์เราในบริษัทเราเจอข้อความอย่างนี้
Oh, okay. Here is a brave one.
I think for this case, the problem is more crisis.
More serious crisis.
And also the problem is from outside that we cannot identify where it's from. Yeah. So I would like to go back to the suggestion that she already mentioned. We might shut.
Listen. Now be Thai, not Israeli. Okay, listen. Be polite. Okay.
We might shut down the internet first. To
What are you doing with this?
firstly, I will tell the IT or the CEO or anyone on the list of list management because it's crisis as I mentioned before.
You are reporting it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, reporting is very important. But what are you doing? Now you are the management of the bank.
I will. I will be.
Okay, suppose that you are already a manager.
Yeah, and also. Oh, okay. And also, I will tell or encourage the people in the organization to calm down. Don't worry and.
Don't worry, be happy. This is all.
Not happy. Not happy. But we cannot for.
But why should we be calm? What are you going to do?
If we cannot solve the problem by ourselves, how can we do?
To pay money in 12 hours. What are you going to do? 6 hours passed away.
Yeah.
หน้าที่เขาข้ามไปเร็วๆหน้านี้ไม่ได้ให้
Actually, as you mentioned, it's about it's about the Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, as you mentioned. If someone want to the Bitcoin,
Bitcoin, many Bitcoins.
yeah, but we don't have Bitcoin actually. So
This is a very good point. Say it again.
we don't have Bitcoin.
Most organizations don't have Bitcoins. So when I'm doing exercises like that, they always say, okay, we will bring Bitcoins. So I'm asking them, where are you going to bring these Bitcoins from? Nobody saw a Bitcoin. Okay? Have you ever seen a Bitcoin? Everybody talks about it, but does it really exist? I don't know. Okay, you don't have Bitcoins, but suppose you have Bitcoins, but this is a real issue.
Yes.
Organizations don't have and they don't know how to get it. Okay, and if you have Bitcoins, what are you going to do?
If we have Bitcoin,
Yeah, what are you going to do with them?
we have to check in our, like the bank or something like that. Maybe it's already
เราถึงงงเลยว่าทำอะไรต่อ
keep our Bitcoin.
You have Bitcoins. What are you going to do with them?
Keep our Bitcoin.
And go home with the Bitcoins. Okay. We arrived to the point that she bought Bitcoins. Any other? Yes, please. You want to go for lunch? You have to solve this problem quickly.
For my organization, we send warning to our department for that we have this issue, and then the IT, and then the IT network admin will close the SMB port, the port that this ransomware come.
Okay. All of you are checking, all of you are reporting, which is very good. But the question, the real and only question in these situations, are you going to pay or not? No. Okay. This is a very brave answer. No. We don't talk with terrorists. You heard politicians say that? And after that, they have secret talks with the terrorists. Now, suppose that you are a manager of a bank, okay, and you don't pay. You are very brave. But what happens to all the data? You cannot use it. You cannot give services to customers. You cannot see transactions. What happens to you? Now, think about the organization. Think about the customers. So what are you going to do? Pay or not pay? No. Still no pay. You are going to destroy the bank ability to operate. No data.
คือตอนนี้เขาให้คิดแล้วนะฮะว่าจากข้อมูลเนี่ยคราวนี้ถ้าเราจะจ่ายหรือไม่จ่ายนี่คือเขาขอมาแล้วคือเขาดีแมนด์นะว่าจะต้องจ่ายเราก็ต้องตอนนี้การตัดสินใจของเรามันที่เขาบอกมันไม่ใช่ว่ารีพอร์ตหรือไม่รีพอร์ตอะไรต่างๆจะจ่ายหรือไม่จ่ายแล้วสถานการณ์อย่างนี้ถูกไหมฮะถ้าเราไม่จ่ายเราก็ต้องคิดถึงว่าอะไรจะตามมาเพราะคราวนี้ข้อมูลใช้ไม่ได้การบริการเราหยุดหมดถูกไหมครับอันนี้คือสิ่งที่สถานการณ์นี้เราต้องการคำตอบงี้แล้วไม่ใช่ว่าจะรายงานไปโทรเช็คไอทีไม่ใช่ละจ่ายหรือไม่จ่าย
Are you going to pay or not? No. Yeah, please. What?
You should know more because pay is very easy.
You don't have time to know more. 12 hours. Look.
I mean.
Look. You don't have time. Clock is ticking.
We should find out another.
This is a crisis. You don't have time. You don't have more information. You don't know who sent it to you. You see that there are problems in your systems. I mean, it's not just something in the sky. Are you going to pay or not?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
คือเขาบอกงี้นะฮะ1เวลาไม่มีนะครับ2เนี่ยเราไม่รู้ว่าใครทำ
Excuse me, can I have some idea? Yeah, because normally the bank have the backup data, so we can continue to serve the customer.
So this is also a good answer. Sometimes or many times organizations have backup data, but let me tell you something about it. Hackers are some hackers. Not all the hackers are very smart. I mean, like regular people, they are smart. Most of them are not smart. Like all people, there are few smart. Most of them are not so smart. But some hackers know how to inject malware in your systems that will sleep there for a few months. So when you make up the backup, you might find that your backup files are also infected. Now, to end this story, because you don't want to pay, what do you care? It's the bank's money, not your money. No. Huh? Yes.
She wants to be the manager, so.
Yeah.
May I ask the question regarding this case? Is this happened in Israel?
Yes. No, but not only in Israel. I showed you the WannaCry, the one about in May this year that attacked. This is exactly was a ransom like that attacked almost 100 countries at the same time. So this is a real issue. And I'm telling you, the ransom attacks, the ransomware malware, are the fastest growing attacks in the last year. I don't know what will happen next.
And
So I'll tell you what happened in Israel. I cannot talk very freely about it. And with this I want to end, because I want you to understand, as I started, that cyber attacks can harm any one of us. Even in Israel, that we are very self-confident and very arrogant. There was about 2 years, 1.5 years ago, in one of the financial sector institute in Israel, all of a sudden they got an email. By the way, all the messages here are from real events. I'm telling you the truth, everything. So an email like that arrived to the office of the CEO, General Director. She's a woman, by the way. In Israel, in the head of the central bank is a woman. The vice, second one in the central bank is a woman. And among the 3 largest banks, in 2 there are women in general bank. So if you don't succeed here, you can come to Israel and do it. Okay. So they got an email saying that we enter to your systems, like something like that, and they sent a print screen with details, real details from the database, I mean, as a proof that they entered to the systems. Of course, in Israel, everybody started to work hard on it, but they didn't succeed to find out where this email came from. It was sure that it didn't come from Israel. Now, since Israel is in a rather delicate situation, one of the suspicion was that it was an attack by another country, by another state, and this is a sort of declaration of war in the Israel situation. So all the agencies were involved, and then after a while arrived an email, something like that. We want money, and if you don't pay us, and it always into a window of time. I mean, you don't have all the time to decide. You have only a few hours to decide about it. This is why it is very pressing. So they got an email. Again, they didn't know where it comes from, and now they started to make a discussion about the real problem, to pay or not to pay. And this is the question when you get something like that. You make all the checks, and so, of course, there were those who were against it. There were those who were in favor to pay because the financial institutes are very, very sensitive. I mean, it's very easy to sit here and to shout, we are not going to pay, and after that, the bank is going bankrupt. I mean, it's not an easy situation. And there is no one question. But what they did, and after that I worked with them, with this financial institute, they decided something more tricky. They decided, we are going to pay a little bit, but we do it in order to try to get more intelligence, more information. When you make interaction with the person that is attacking you, you have better opportunity to find out who he is. Because if he sends only one email, you don't have enough information. It's very difficult to find. But if you start to make sort of conversation with him, then you have more possibilities to track where it comes from. So they pay, and they started to track, and it succeeded. They found it. You know where they found it? In Bangkok. It was an internal worker that was fired. And I'm telling you a true story because it was published in Israel. A worker that was fired just before he was he left the organization. He took from his own, because he had access to very sensitive data, he copied it, and then he went to Bangkok. He had other two people who helped him, and then from here he did what he did, and because after they found him here, well, he was sentenced, and then it was published, all the issue in Israel. So, what you can learn from it, first, that this is a real life. The question of whether to pay or not is really a difficult one. So, all of you say no, but I'm telling you it's a difficult one because you have other responsibilities as well. But the solution always, sometimes you have solutions in between. No, it's not always black and white. You have to think how we can do things and finally win the battle, or this battle. And the last thing I want to say, that Bangkok is a dangerous place. All the thieves from Israel are coming here. So, no, this was just a joke. Many Israelis are coming here for vacation. Many. That's why it was very easy for him to come here and nobody knew. So, this is to end it. Don't be now very sad. You didn't pay.
Okay,นะครับ
Now you go to eat and eat well and okay.
โอเคนะครับก็สุดท้าย solution
See you in the pub in the evening.
โอเคนะครับก่อนพักเบรกนะฮะ
What do you say, General Manager? She thinks, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I just have one recommendation that I would like to from you.
For me, okay. No, now you are my boss, okay.
No.
Okay.
As you mentioned that for right now, this is the real situation that occur and is from Bangkok. So, if you are my advisor, what you recommend for Thailand on this issue?
Lady, this is a business. First you pay me.
โอเคนะครับก็เดี๋ยวคือตกลงเนี่ยมันเป็นคำถามถ้าเจออย่างนี้ฟึบเราก็ตีมาตรการจะจ่ายไม่จ่ายแต่กรณีของเขาก็คือว่าเขาต้องการจะรู้จักกับคนที่อยู่ฝั่งตรงข้ามมากที่สุดด้วยนี้มันถึงใช้การทยอยจ่ายนะครับและสุดท้ายก็ฉากไปฉากมาถึงรู้ว่ามากบดานที่กรุงเทพแต่ว่าเป็นการจากข้างในจากคนข้างในไม่ได้จากข้างนอกนะครับคือเป็นคนพนักงานบริษัทธนาคารที่ถูกไล่ออกนะครับแล้วก็มาที่เมืองไทยคือเมืองจริงๆแบงคอกนี่เป็นหับในการทำไซเบอร์แอทแทกนะครับอันนี้เป็นที่รู้กันอยู่แล้วนะครับใช่ครับเป็นหับใหญ่ก็ประมาณนี้นะครับแต่ว่าเขาบอกว่ากรุงเทพนี่ก็มีเป็นแหล่งต้นกำเนิดในหลายที่นะครับลันช์ขอบคุณนะครับตบมือให้เขาหน่อยนะครับ